So, Chuck, we've advanced the ball down the field where, like, I know all the calls today were the obvious. We're going to fire Raheem. We're going to fire Terry. We're going to fire Zach. So there's just no point to even having that conversation. We know he's fired. It could be at the end of this year. He might get another year after. I don't know the expiration.
It's a detail to be worked out.
Yeah.
That's all.
But if you ever wanted to, and I don't know what the circle of trust for Arthur Blank is. It's something we said with Domino and Cellini that it seems like it's Rich, but I'm sure there are some other voices. Maybe it's Josh Blank, his son now. Maybe it's some other people that he turns to. The record is not going to get him fired at 11-13. It's just not enough that you're going to fire a coach at 11-13. It's how it's happening, right? That if you really take a step back and you realize what's happening in these 24 games, let me give you some numbers for Raheem, just to kind of emphasize just how bad it's been. In these 24 games, the Falcons have now lost by 20 or more points 5 times. So once every about 5th game, they're losing by 3 touchdowns. By comparison, Arthur Smith, who was not good here, in his 51 games, the Falcons only got beat by 20 or more 6 times. Again, we all couldn't wait to move on from Arthur. Raheem's getting blown out the same amount of games and half the amount of games that he's here. So that's the jarring. You don't get blown out in the NFL unless you're either woefully under-talented or woefully unprepared. And this team is woefully underprepared. That's what happens repeatedly.
And with those numbers, the evaluation of Arthur Smith was, can't have him as coach anymore with those numbers. There were other numbers, but with those numbers and 6 times and half the games, and there's already 5.
But let's also add to it. Arthur never had the investment of the team on a quarterback.
No.
Raheem has had the investment of, are we going to get you Kirk for now? We're going to get you Michael for later. We're going to invest $100 in Kirk. We're going to invest number 8 in Michael. Arthur Smith was given the remains of Matt Ryan, the beginnings of Desmond Ridder, and Marcus Mariota in between, with a little Taylor Heineke sprinkled in. Now, I'm sure he had some say-so in it, but I'm just telling you the comparison. All right. The numbers that we talked about, the Falcons being blown out by Carolina and Miami by a total of, 64-10, whatever the number was. But when I think about the amount of bad teams, that's the other thing. When you lose to bad teams, again, you're woefully unprepared or you're woefully just not coached well enough to, handle your business against the bad teams where if you're going to lose to them, it happens. You lose 19-16. That happens. You don't get blown out the way they do. The Falcons now have losses this season against coming in the 1-win Dolphins, the crappy Panthers. Last season, they lost to the crappy 5-win Saints, the crappy 5-win Panthers. It's been a repetitive thing in his time. But if we just looked at Raheem here, like I said, 11-13 is not going to get him fired. But he was 4-7 as an interim. He was awful in Tampa at 17-31, but we all kind of write that off as it really wasn't his.
Didn't have choice, couldn't hire the coaches.
Jason Light was kind of controlling all the things. All I know as a full-time head coach, and if I want to throw in the interim with Raheem Morris, he's 32-51.
And it took 10 years. 10 years. I don't think he got a fair shake. I don't think he got a full shake in Tampa. I also am not thinking he was very good. It took 10 years before somebody would hire him, and it was somebody who knew him already.
Well, there's no doubt that
Because to know Raheem is to love Raheem.
It doesn't matter. He's a great guy.
But it worked with Arthur. And here's one other thing that's tough news for me, you, every Falcon fan. As billionaires age, they don't expand the group of people they listen to. As billionaires hit their 80th birthday, for instance, they shrink that group of people that are in the inner circle. And so if, Rich is there, Gorilla Glue, he ain't leaving.
Good for him. It's a good gig to have. The funniest part of all of it was you had Raheem here, and then 4.5 years later, you're like, yeah, now he's ready for it. So never forget that part.